Funnies, man. I'm glad to be here. This is awesome. We had 3 people from Detroit open up. And if y'all anything like me, y'all like, these motherfuckers is not from Detroit. They from the Detroit area, like Livonia, Novi, Redford.
Royal Oak.
Shit. They got up here, told their jokes. I was like, yeah, it's definitely Royal Oak. It's definitely not Detroit. I'm Detroit. I ain't got no motherfucking shoestrings in my shoes. Yeah, I had a little incident. Happen, man. Hey, we was in Kent County together. I knew you looked familiar. Now, I don't wear shoelaces, man, because I just want to make the booking process that much easier. Like, shit, if I ain't got no shoelaces in already, you motherfuckers, this shit should only take about 5-10 minutes. But I'm glad, man. I'm always happy to be here at the Sunday Night Funnies, because the Sunday Night Funnies, there is such a diverse crowd. You know, it's a lot of diversity. I see 6 black people. It's about 6 Mexicans over in the corner. Ole, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. And a bunch of white folks up in the Sunday Night Funnies. They let me know that there's 6 guns, possibly 6 knives, but a bunch of cell phones in this bitch called police. White folks, y'all don't fuck around, do y'all? Y'all is quick on the dial. That 911. There's only 3 numbers. Y'all still got on speed dial. It's amazing. It's amazing.
My youngest daughter turned 18. Yeah. This morning my wife's like, so what do you think? Our youngest is 18. I'm like, well, I think I'll never have to pay child support. To which she said, that's okay. She's not yours anyway. My brother's got a hell of a problem. My nephew is just about to graduate college. As a matter of fact, his graduation, I think, is next weekend. To celebrate, he went and got a tattoo. Yeah, on his neck. So my brother spends $85,000 on this kid's college education, and he immediately finds a cure for success and prosperity. I saw him yesterday. He's like, Uncle Mike, you see my new tattoo? I'm like, yeah, it's right on your neck. He says, yeah. In Chinese, this says strength. I'm like, really? Because in English, that says minimum wage for life. Oh, you got to be careful though when you get tattoos, don't you? I'm not against tattoos, but you got to be careful. Because you got to make sure that whatever you have put on your body today will be relevant in your life in 20 years. My neighbor Dan is a perfect example. He's got a tattoo. It's a bald eagle. In the talons of that bald eagle is an American flag. And it says, live free or die. Now I'm in the process of moving. Last weekend, he helps me take an old couch out of my basement. We get done, I'm like, Dan, let me take you out for a beer. He says, I better go ask Shelly. So I killed him. Right then and there. Instructions were on his arm. Yeah, my wife and I, we are empty nesters now. Both of our kids are gone. Things change. Things change as empty nesters. Like you can have sex. Anytime, any place. Yeah. You won't, but you can. My wife and I have been married for 24 years. Here's a little public service announcement for any of you in long-term relationships. How many people here are in long-term relationships? Here's a little announcement for you. I just heard on the radio to spice up your sex life if you're in a long-term relationship. You should share your fantasies. I tried it. I wouldn't recommend it. Unless she is somehow involved in your fantasy, I wouldn't say a word about it. Has anyone been down to the Gun Lake Casino recently?
Not recently.
Not recently? You've been there though?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
They are guilty of false advertising. Because halfway between here and Gun Lake, there is a huge billboard. Beautiful woman, little black dress, dice in one hand, martini in the other, says, "Come play with me." She's not there. Her 87-year-old grandmother with the oxygen tank, she's there in multiples. That girl's not going to be there for another 60 years.
You know, when you're shaped like this, when this is you, right? You've got to this point in your life, at some point you just got to own it. You just got to realize that real men have curves, right? Folks, huh? Anyone's with me? Real men have curves. Women have been hiding behind that forever, right? They've been hiding behind that for years. I say it's time to take it. It's mine. Real men have curves. And women, by the way, when they say real women have curves, they mean 3 very specific curves, right? They mean a curve out, the curve back in, and then a curve out again. If your silhouette looks like a stack of parentheses, they're not talking about you. Okay? Like the Michelin Man has never been sexy. Ever. So stop posting it on Facebook. I have a daughter, she's 2.5, and she's starting to get familiar with the world, trying to get what things are called. Like she's very curious about herself. She knows these are my fingers, these are my toes, this is my, this is my hair, and so on. And then eventually she got very curious about what was going on in this area. She's like, "What is this?" And I just panicked. I'm like, "That's your business. You just mind your own business. Don't mess with anybody else's business, and I never want to hear that you're open for business." The worst part about it is that that's the term that she now uses for it. Like, it's stuck. I didn't, but now that's what she says, but she doesn't say business because it's a longer word. She can't use words very well, so now she just calls it her busy. Which is even worse because as a father, you never want to hear your daughter refer to her vagina as busy. Just ever.
Anybody here on dates tonight? Anybody have any kids?
Yeah.
You guys, anybody out here like cars? You guys like cars? Does anybody listen to CDs still? No? Does anybody like goulash? Is anybody into really weird Asian pillow porn? Where you have the picture of the Asian anime on the pillow? That exists. Look it up after the show, you guys. I'm trying to teach you something, not make you laugh. I don't have jokes for any of these. I just like to ask questions, take surveys, see what I'm dealing with. This crowd seems hostile as shit. Go ahead, don't be funny. You'll get murdered afterwards. How we doing, Grand Rapids? How did we all end up in this room, huh? How did we, I know how I got up here on stage. It's a lack of attention from my parents. But how did you guys end up as the audience tonight? What journeys did you take? Nobody wants to talk about that, huh? This is my crowd right here, the people that are still left after some subpar performances the end of the night, and just whoever's left over after the people filter out. That's my crowd. No, I'm going to stick around and give this a chance. That's what I like to do. I want to make sure the shit goes well. I'm going to give you guys a little treat here. I'm going to put on a little show. You guys want to see a show? Yeah. Jesus. What happened earlier? I missed it. People are like, yes, show! Now! About to stab the person next to me just to laugh. All right, here it is. Here we go. To the court of public opinion. In The People versus Michael Jackson, the defense calls to the stand Michael Jackson. Mr. Jackson, did you or did you not molest those children? I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. So I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat. This wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids on the street without enough to eat. Sabadee, but we don't know what he's saying at this point. Everybody knows. Sabadee, ba-dum, bum, boo-doo. This wind is blowing my mind. He says the same line twice at that point. But who am I to judge them? The song is so good he runs out of fucking words. That's what happens in that song. That's how good that song is. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. Woo. No difference could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and don't molest those children. That's how that song probably should have ended. It goes on for a while. I believe a choir comes in. At that point, I think the defense rests at that point. They're like, we're done, Your Honor. We're gonna go. Oh, that's my timely Michael Jackson joke. What else is in the news? I'm trying to lose some weight. You guys know what I'm talking about? I got kids, I got a wife. I don't want to be the fat dad. I don't want to be the fat dad. And I'm not slamming anybody that was up here earlier tonight. I'm just trying to start with, I'm not. I said I'm not. Don't laugh at that. I said I'm not. There's nothing wrong with who you are. Be who you are. I'm not slamming anybody. That's not what it's about. I'm just trying to start with a man in the mirror, you guys. But you can't. You can't lose weight in this country because everything's a bullshit lie. That's two lies. I said it twice. Here's why. Take a look at your beer bottle right now. How many calories does it say? Like 100, 110? Fuck that. Per serving, 2 on the bottle. That's bullshit. How many times have you taken half of your beer and been like, I'm going to save the rest of this for later when I'm even more hungry? That's bullshit. How am I supposed to lose weight when everything is like 15 servings per package? If it's in that package, it's 1 serving. Can we all agree on that? 1 goddamn serving. Am I right? We can't pull that shit in our lives, can we? We can't get pulled over by a cop. He's like, you know how fast you were going? Like, well, I think I was going like 100, but this is a 4-seater, so about 25? 25 miles per hour. 25, officer. I'm going with 25. Can I get one of them donuts? I'm going to have to gaffle you. It's an old Ice Cube joke. I'm old. Here's the deal, too, America. We're not going to lose any weight. You know why? Everybody's talking about like, yeah, I started P90X, huh? You do the ab ripper? You do the P90X? No. You know why I know you're not doing P90X, USA? Here's why. Because you can't even use your turn signal, you fat bastard. It's right here. It's right next to the steering wheel. You can't use this, and you're going to blast your abs for a half hour? I'm calling bullshit. I was using the urinal before I came up here. You guys know what the urinal is. You ladies probably don't, unless you're real promiscuous and you've been in a few guys' bathrooms, then you might know what it is. Here's why I don't like the urinal. Because the toilet did both things just fine, didn't it? It worked. Right? Accepted both deposits. That's fine. I didn't ask somebody to invent another toilet, put it on the wall, and make sure it got 50% of my urine back on me by the end of the experience. I don't want that. I don't want that. I just want to wash my hands, not my face. Thanks, urinal. You're a jerk. You're a jerk. I don't care if there is a delicious cake in there. I don't want it.
If I ever have a daughter, I'm gonna name her Little Girl, and then I'm gonna take her to Disney World and fuck with everybody. Do you want to go on a ride, little girl? And if I ever have a son, I'm gonna name him Jesus, and then I'm gonna take him to church so he can hear them say, Jesus is the Son of God, and I'm gonna elbow him, make sure he's listening. Did you know there's National Survivors of Suicide Day? Yeah. Since when is America giving holidays to failures? When I was in high school, I got fired from Pizza Hut for putting non-dairy creamer in the Parmesan cheese shakers. Whenever I see a black guy walking a pit bull, start hearing DMX music, I don't know where it's coming from. My girlfriend lets me fuck her when she's sleeping, so that's not rape. I'm just kidding. She doesn't know.
Oh man, all these ladies here tonight, man. Hey ladies, hey. I've seen a couple ladies in like striped black and white shirts. I love that. It's like your titties are trying to break out of jail. Set the titties free is all I'm saying. Start a school program, no titty left behind. Making sure each titty succeeds, and that'll be my platform when I run for senator. No titties. Oh man, anyone celebrating a late Mother's Day? Late Mother's Day? I'm always driving doing comedy, and I heard on the radio that Hooters was offering free dinner to mothers on Mother's Day. Were any of you lucky ladies taking to Hooters on Mother's Day? What guys doing? Like, I wish I could combine my and my mother's love of fried chicken and titties. And save some money. Like, I'm a classy guy. I put the napkin over my lap. 30 seconds into the meal, it turns into a ghost. It's like, Mom, that's ectoplasm. Don't worry. Are you the gatekeeper and the keymaster? But I'm always doing a lot of driving. I took 96 coming up here. I'm from like the Metro Detroit area, and 96 is scary because you guys remember a couple months ago when there was the sniper on 96? Yes, that's very frightening. But I couldn't think of a better excuse to get out of a parking ticket. You get pulled over and the cop's like, "Sir, do you know how fast you were going?" Faster than a speeding bullet, I hope. I'm just trying to make it to the next gig alive. But I'm always listening to the radio, and the radio's so shitty now because all you can listen to is very terrible music or bad commercials. So I inevitably just like end up listening to classical music. It's not great, but I feel like I'm at least getting smarter. But like the music, has anyone heard the new Justin Timberlake song "Suit or Tie"? Whether or not you think he's a good singer, I think he sounds like a cat. Because there's one line, he's like, "So thick, is that why they call it a fatty?" Meow. JT wants meow mix, JT wants liver. Meow mix, meow mix. And I heard a commercial the other day. Does anyone know what the Pure Romance Party is?
Yes.
It's supposed to spice up your relationship. I think women just have sword fights with dildos or something. This is the superior product. My favorite part, because it's a radio commercial, they have testimonials. They're like, "I'm Jessica and I got the jackrabbit." It's like, "I'm Becky and I got the grasshopper." It's like, "I'm Donna and I got the big black one. Hey!" And then have a billboard. It's like, "I'm Donna and I highly recommend the big black one." Use it as self-defense. It's just throw it off attackers. I don't know if any saw I was doing karaoke earlier. I really like doing karaoke, but I don't have like a good voice. I have like a character voice. My favorite song to sing is Journey's "Don't Stop Believe," because everyone knows that song. Like, I'm a Southern boy. I was born and raised in South Detroit. I never saw a midnight train going anywhere. I didn't see people like getting stabbed and houses set on fire. That's something I never thought I'd see in Detroit. I saw a lot of homeless people with baseball bats. Who's robbing the homeless? I've never seen a homeless like, "Hey, Mr. Shakes, that's a pretty nice pair of fingerless gloves you got there." Maybe it's not for self-defense. Maybe there's like secret hobo baseball league I'm not aware of. Like all the teams are named after malt liquor, like you have the Colt 45s versus Steel Reserves. And the big rivalry between the Pabst Blue Ribbon and the Red Stripes. Array unemployment. You know, despite the names, there'll be no White Sox. Because they're homeless. Alright, that's going to do it for me. My name's Michael Soder.
You know, I come from a large family. It's 8 siblings of us, and you know, out of that 8, it's one dumbass brother, just a knucklehead. He just always he misinterpret the parenting counseling that, you know, in store. So my brother used to love to skip school, and especially math classes. So my dad caught him skipping math class one day. So he sit him down to explain to him, hey, look, son, adding and subtracting, and especially multiplying, is important. My brother said, yeah, Dad, you're right. Jesus talked about multiplying. So the next day he went to school, and when the teacher handed out the lesson, he raised his hand. He said, Teach, you know, I understand about this adding and subtracting, but my dad sent me to multiply, so which one of you bitches is first? You gotta keep in mind, it's a black comic up here tonight. I ain't gonna crack no white jokes, because, you know, we ain't racist. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey guys, I'm gonna tell you a surefire way you can get your girlfriend or wife to tell you the truth about anything you ask her. I don't give a shit what it is. Money, cheating, you're pregnant, waterboarding. Trust me, it works. I'm telling you. And if you go to prison, you're going to spend a little time in there, but they'll just give you just enough time to think of your next set of questions for her ass. You know what I'm saying? And if she drowns, just put a bathing suit on and throw her ass in the pool. And see, you know, all the white folks laughing at this. I can see the headlines tomorrow morning. 15 women found in their pools after Sunday Night Funnies. Because somebody going home and try that shit tonight. You know, my family could actually be rich right now. We have actually written some of the most famous lyrics for some of the rappers that it is today. You know, my mom was going to work the other day, and she said, when I get back, I want this house clean from the top to the bottom. So she go out, she come back a couple hours later, because you know, it don't take long for a prostitute to make no money. So what? I sold my mom out for a joke. It's Memorial's Day. I'm a veteran. I can do that shit. Saved her life once. So she said, when I get back here, I want this house cleaned up. So she came back, and she said, I thought I told you I want this house cleaned up. She started whipping her asses, and when she hit me, I said, I started from the bottom down here. See, black folks know that song, but y'all white ones don't. But I ain't had nothing else that I rehearsed, so I had to crack that. You know, I ran into the bank the other day, and it's a funny thing, because when you run into the bank, this lady got all pissed because she was like, can someone call 911 because, you know, my bumper was on her. I couldn't stop. I ain't had no brakes, you know. I used that old shit Flintstone used to use, but it just didn't work. I ain't had no insurance no way, so, you know, I was trying to go get some. I'm just stalling for time because I actually didn't want to go in my pocket. I forgot this damn joke. That's my paycheck. That's really funny right there. Shit. Oh, I know. Wait a minute. Guys, this one for you. This shit happened to me, for real. And I'm going to tell you, it's one thing you should always keep from your women. One or two things that you know that they don't know. I'm going to tell you what happened to me. I was working third shift, right? I come home one night, my girl getting down, screwing this one-armed midget. He was like on pump 72. You know, and you know when you make your girl orgasm, you know, you still got an erection, you know, you ain't doing nothing, you can count it like 18, 19, 20. My sleep number is 89. So, you know, I say, men do some of the weirdest thing when we see our women. It's obvious. I walk in and see, and I was like, what are you doing? Duh. And women, when they hate you and you catch them, they try to just stick the sword in farther when they hate you. I was like, what are you doing? She was like, I was trying something that fit. Oh. I'm like, from a midget? I was like, oh no, she didn't. Oh, and see, fellas, this is when it comes into play. I know something that she don't know, and what she don't know is, I got a CCW and a pistol. I shot that bitch right in the head. The midget said, why'd you do that? I said, I was trying something that fit. That's my time though, folks. Y'all been great. Have a good night.
down. Folks, admit it, we don't have blood in our veins, it's special sauce. And I'll admit to you the following, I will admit the following. I cannot watch the TV show Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives when I'm hungry. They make food look so good I start eating the couch cushions with my dog. Hey, can we agree on this one topic though? Just this one single topic before we leave tonight. That the TV show Extreme Makeover needs to visit swamp people. Can we agree on that? Well, look, I know I'm getting older. I now take 2 naps a day instead of 1. Thank you. I can throw my back out simply by brushing my teeth. Laugh now, wait till it happens to you, you young folks. And I'm spending less time in my tree fort watching cartoons. And it occurs to me at my age, when I was 21 years old, the idea of making love to a 60-year-old woman was never on my mind. But now that I've been married to the same woman for 25 years, it occurs to me, I'm not going to be looking forward to that day, I'm going to be enjoying it. Hold that thought. And ladies, let me just say this, I speak from experience almost. When your man wants you at that age and beyond, believe me, you look like a model to him. Okay? Ladies, the good news for you is, at that age, your man will look like a rock star. The bad news is, it'll be Keith Richards, who spent a little too much time in the hot tub. So I mentioned I was married, am married. I don't know how she does it. Kicks me out of the house all the time, I think that's it. My wife and I, we have 2 boys and 2 girls, they're all teenagers. And let me ask you a question. How many kids does it take to change an empty roll of toilet paper? Anybody? 10. 0. Well, you're all wrong. I'll tell you why. It's never fucking been done, people. Not in my house. Look, I want these kids to do as I say, not as I did. They don't need to know when I was 17 years old, I was growing pot in my parents' basement. Till my dad figured out why his electrical light bill was so much. And that no high school science fair project could possibly last more than 2 years. And that is a true story. Talking about my wife, you know, the other day I was drinking milk right out of the carton. Not only did that make her mad, they kicked my ass right out of Myers.